Has anyone ever told you that you're a bit unusual?
All the time.
And how do you react?
I thank them.
Huh? You thank them?
Yeah, because if everyone thought I was normal, I'd have to take a hard look at myself to see what's wrong.
Now that's the pinnacle of the art of self-consolation.
It's not self-consolation. It's just proactively optimizing the pain.
Sounds like the slogan of someone who just got battered by life, doesn't it?
Not just a simple battering. It was a relentless combo of kicks.
Haha. So what's your weirdest habit?
I like opening the fridge.
To look for food?
No.
To get a drink then?
Also no.
Then why open it?
Just to stand there and look, like going to a museum, you know.
And what masterpieces are displayed in this museum of yours?
A near-expired carton of milk, 2 eggs, and a shriveled lemon that's been there since prehistoric times.
And you open it just to admire that collection?
Exactly.
Then you close it?
Yeah, close it.
And 5 minutes later, you go open it again?
Who knows, maybe in those 5 minutes, food spontaneously spawned.
Does your brain run entirely on a spiritual belief system?
It's called an unfounded belief with incredibly resilient vitality.
Honestly, I'm not much more normal than you are.
Let's hear it.
Every time I'm about to go to sleep, I have to check my alarm.
Everyone does that, it's normal.
But I check it about 10 times.
Ah, now that's starting to sound a bit concerning.
I lie down for 2 minutes, then I have to spring up and check it again.
You don't trust your phone?
I don't trust the person who set the alarm on the phone.
A very clear-cut distinction.
There are days when I even have to turn on the room light just to confirm the phone is still exactly where it should be.
It doesn't have legs to just pack up and run away from home, you know.
The problem is, my brain doesn't think that simply at the time.
Our brains are actually brilliant horror movie screenwriters.
Spot on!
You're lying there peacefully dozing off.
And the brain whispers, I think you forgot to lock the door.
So you have to grope your way up to check.
It's locked. You trudge back to bed.
As soon as you lie down, the brain says, but what if you saw it wrong just now?
So you stumble out to check it a second time. I bet even the lock feels secondhand embarrassment for me.
Have you ever stood there staring at the lock, wondering if you've locked it?
Yes. And the funniest part is, the key was still right there in my hand.
The brain really loves playing the game of finding system blind spots.
What about you? Do you ever have moments where you feel that unhinged?
I often talk to myself.
That's normal, everyone does it.
No, I actually debate with myself.
Playing 2 roles?
3 roles to make it a full set.
What are the roles?
1 proposes an idea. 1 aggressively jumps in to oppose it.
And the third person?
Is the one sitting there watching the other 2 argue and finding it amusing.
You're not an individual anymore. You're an entire regular board meeting.
And the meeting usually extends indefinitely, without reaching any conclusion.
So, what's the final outcome?
We agree to postpone it to tomorrow to resolve it later.
That's following the exact protocol.
One day, I stood at the coffee counter for 6 whole minutes.
Just to choose a drink?
You have no idea how intense the 3 court trials in my head were. The first one said, drink less sugar, stay healthy.
Sounds very scientific.
The second one fired back, life is short, we need some sweetness.
That makes sense too.
The third one concluded, let's save money, it's the end of the month.
Even more convincing. So what was the result?
I ordered a glass of filtered water.
Ha! In the end, nobody won.
Exactly. The cashier looked at me as if they had just finished watching a criminal psychology documentary.
I have this super silly bad habit too. When looking for things, I usually talk to them while I search.
Talk to objects? Like what?
Like, where are you hiding? Come out, and surrender.
And does it voluntarily crawl out?
No, which just makes me even more mad at it.
Where do you finally find it?
Right in my hand.
A classic scenario.
That's not all. The peak was when I held my phone, turned on its flashlight to go look for the very same phone.
Your brain must have taken unpaid leave that day.
It only works part-time. remembering and forgetting at random.
I'm no better. There was a time I walked into a room and suddenly froze because I forgot what I was in there for.
Oh, this happens to me all the time.
But I didn't give up so easily. I decided to walk backward out of the room to reload the data.
Did it work?
It did. I remembered I went in to grab my glasses.
And did you get them?
I realized I was already wearing them on my face. In that moment, I realized I wasn't old yet.
Right? You're just the trial version of an old person.
Come to think of it, we all have those silly quirks.
But it actually makes things fun, don't you think?
Exactly. At least every day there's something to laugh at yourself about.
Instead of laughing at others, we laugh at ourselves.
That might just be the most underrated superpower. Knowing how to poke fun at yourself makes life a lot less serious.
And most importantly, it saves you from having to explain why you just opened the fridge for the 10th time tonight.
Keep it down. Don't expose me in front of my coffee.
Have you noticed something?
Noticed what?
The older we get, the weirder the questions that pop into our heads.
Give me an example.
When we were kids, we used to ask, "Why is the sky blue?"
A very scientific and innocent question.
But now I ask, if I sleep a full 8 hours but wake up still tired, where did those 8 hours go?
They were probably automatically deducted by life as an excise tax.
I also suspect time is charging hidden service fees without prior notice.
Seriously, there are weeks when you open your eyes and it's Monday morning, and in the blink of an eye, it's Sunday night.
But when you're waiting for the microwave to heat up food for 2 minutes,
Those 2 minutes feel like 2 centuries.
time definitely has some serious biases.
Not exactly. The nature of time is actually very fair.
Then why does it fly by when we're having fun?
Because when you're enjoying yourself, the brain is too busy having fun to hit the record button.
And what about when we're waiting?
It automatically switches to super high resolution slow motion.
The brain truly is a picky and highly subjective director.
So have you ever asked yourself a question that kept you tossing and turning until morning?
Yes, I have.
Let's hear it.
If one day I wake up and everyone in the world has forgotten my name,
Then what?
would I have to go introduce myself all over again?
Of course you would.
But what if I forget my own name too? See what I mean?
I've only had half a cup of coffee, and you're already making my brain run at full capacity.
I still have another one.
Please, I'm starting to worry for the safety of my neurons here.
Just think about it. What if today you ran into your 10-year-old self?
Oh, this hypothesis is quite interesting.
Do you think that little boy would believe in your current life now?
What do you mean?
If you told the kid, when you grow up, you'll sit in a coffee shop and debate how many times a day it's normal to subconsciously open the fridge and stare,
Haha, that kid would definitely hit me with a barrage of questions.
he'd ask, "Have you become a superhero to save the world yet?"
And how would you answer?
Not yet, kid.
A great scientist then?
Also, no.
Or a famous singer?
Even less so.
Then what on earth are you doing?
I'm sitting here trying to remember what my bank account password is.
Haha, after hearing that, his childhood would be ruined and filled with overwhelming disappointment.
But who knows? Maybe the kid would find it funny too.
I think the child from back then would actually just ask one simple question.
What question?
Is growing up fun?
And how would you answer?
Yes, it is.
Are you being honest?
There are days that are truly a lot of fun.
And what about the terrible days?
They still happen, of course. But at least I don't panic the way I used to.
Why?
Because when we were young, we always thought adults knew everything and were never afraid.
But the reality is,
Adults are just really good at pretending to be calm.
spot on.
On the outside, it looks like everything is under control.
But on the inside, it's screaming, "Oh no, did I send the wrong text to my boss?
Did I lock my car?
Has anyone figured out that I'm completely improvising here?
Life is basically a live presentation.
Was there any preparation?"
Yes, prepared very thoroughly. But when it's time to present, you realize you opened the wrong slides.
That sounds so much like me.
There's one thing I always wonder about. Why do humans always tend to think that somewhere else is better than the present?
What do you mean specifically?
When working, you just look forward to the days off.
True.
But after a few days off, you start missing work and itching to go back.
Spot on.
In summer, you complain about the heat, wishing for winter to come quickly.
Then when winter arrives, you're shivering and wishing for some warm summer sunshine.
When single, you crave a partner to care for and share things with.
Once you have a partner, you sometimes miss the carefree days of being single.
We really are experts at standing on this side and always thinking the grass is greener on the other side.
Only to jump over to the other side and be shocked to discover,
That it's artificial grass.
or it's real grass, but you have to mow it yourself every week.
Turns out, life isn't lacking in beautiful things around us.
It just lacks our ability to recognize and appreciate what we currently have.
Exactly.
There's a question that has had me thinking for a whole week.
Let's hear it.
If happiness was something that could easily be bought with money, would people still cherish it?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Things that come too easily are often taken for granted and considered worthless.
Kind of like air, right?
Exactly. Only when the power goes out in the sweltering heat of summer do we realize how precious an electric fan is.
Only when the phone dies do we frantically search for a power bank.
And only when we lose our Wi-Fi connection do we finally look up at the sky.
To suddenly realize that the clouds are quite beautiful today.
And the birds are still singing sweetly outside the window.
And they don't need a Wi-Fi password for anything.
Sometimes disconnecting for a bit is actually nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes I think this life is like a giant jigsaw puzzle
Why the comparison?
because we're always so impatient to see the complete picture right away.
But the reality is that we're only holding a few very small pieces in our hands.
Right. That's why we get anxious and confused, when all we really need is a little more time to patiently put it together.
I really like that positive way of thinking of yours.
So, do you have any questions you've never found an answer to?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
Why is it that I can clearly remember the silly things I said that embarrassed me 10 years ago,
Oh, right. So incredibly true.
while I can't even remember what I just ate 5 minutes ago?
The brain's storage capacity is truly very biased and bizarre.
It's willing to wipe clean complex math, physics, and chemistry formulas.
But it perfectly preserves the scene of me tripping and humiliating myself in front of my friends in 8th grade.
And the resolution of that memory is in razor-sharp 4K, no less.
Complete with immersive surround sound, missing absolutely no detail.
And it usually autoplays at 2 a.m., right when you're trying to coax yourself to sleep.
And on top of that, there's no pause or fast forward button either.
But if you think about it carefully,
What?
if those silly past incidents can still make you blush in the present,
Then what?
then it proves you've grown up a lot compared to your past self.
Ah, because now we have better awareness to know what we should and shouldn't do.
Exactly. So those embarrassing memories are sometimes proof that we have changed and progressed. Sounds quite relieving, doesn't it?
Life inherently has so many questions without absolute answers.
But maybe the most interesting part lies in the fact that we never stop asking questions.
And continue growing alongside new answers every day.
Or continue living with questions that are even more mind-boggling.
Are you mentally prepared for the next question?
No, please don't say another one. I just unconsciously started wondering what my shadow would complain about me if it could talk.
I bet the first thing it would say is,
Please, master, don't stand indecisively in front of the menu for another 10 minutes. My legs are so tired.
Do you ever suddenly recall some ancient story and end up laughing to yourself like a fool?
That's just an everyday occurrence.
I thought I was the only one suffering from that weird symptom.
Not at all. Our brains love randomly replaying old documentary clips when no one asked them to.
Agreed. Often, when everything is just perfectly fine,
Like when you're just standing there washing dishes.
Yeah, exactly.
Suddenly, your brain rewinds to that time in middle school when I greeted the wrong person on the street.
Everyone does that at least once. That's normal.
But the problem is, I didn't just greet them.
What else did you do?
I also excitedly ran up and shook their hand very enthusiastically.
Then what?
They froze and looked at me. I froze and looked at them.
Oh my God.
Both of us realized we had never met in our lives.
So, did you quietly turn around and walk away?
No, that would be too embarrassing. I decided to stay and make small talk for another solid 2 minutes to save face.
Those 2 minutes must have felt as long as an ice age, right?
Longer than 3 months of summer combined. I even asked them, "How have you been lately? Are you doing well?"
To a complete stranger?
Yeah, I swear my subconscious completely took over at that moment.
What did they reply?
They confusingly said, "I guess I'm doing well."
Haha, it really was both of you trying your best to salvage the situation for each other.
But that effort only made things even more disastrous.
I also have a school memory that is just as epically terrible.
Let's hear it so I can see I'm not the only unhinged person in this world.
In high school, I was extremely confident. That day, the teacher asked a question, and I was the first one in the class to raise my hand.
That's a very commendable learning spirit.
The problem is, I misheard the teacher's question.
Oh no.
The teacher asked a geography question.
And how did you answer?
I boldly replied with a bunch of profoundly intellectual biology knowledge.
How did the teacher react?
He silently looked at me with an affectionate gaze.
And the whole class?
The whole class was dead silent too.
Did you realize you were on the wrong wavelength?
Not at all. Seeing everyone quietly listening, I thought I was speaking so well, so I just kept presenting even more passionately.
So when did you finally stop?
Only when the entire class simultaneously burst into thunderous applause.
Because you got it right.
No, because I finally agreed to sit down so the teacher could continue the lesson.
Haha. Those are the kinds of memories that just thinking about is enough to make you blush to the roots of your hair.
But, looking back now, we were adorably foolish back then, weren't we?
In the past, we thought those mistakes would be a stain that followed us for life.
But actually,
The irony is that we're the only ones holding on to those memories.
that's so true.
Others are too busy remembering their own embarrassing moments. They don't have the energy to remember ours for us.
That's somewhat comforting to hear.
I have another unforgettable memory. My first time applying for a part-time job as a student.
You must have been so nervous, right?
My hands and feet were as cold as if they were just pulled out of an ice bucket. The interviewer looked at me and asked, "What is your greatest strength?"
How did you answer?
I loudly declared, "I have the ability to learn things extremely fast."
That's a textbook answer.
He smiled slightly and asked, "So, can you give me a real-life example?"
Then what?
I was silent for a whole minute,
Why the silence?
because I hadn't yet managed to learn fast how to answer that follow-up question.
Haha, oh my goodness, what a vivid demonstration.
Yeah, an impossibly more authentic real-life example for the recruiter.
Did you get the job in the end?
Of course not.
You must have been so sad then.
I was, but looking back now, I feel grateful for that stumble.
Why is that?
Thanks to that, for subsequent interviews, I prepared more carefully and stopped giving empty cliches.
Turns out failure is a pretty good teacher after all.
The only thing is, the tuition fee is a bit pricey.
I also had to pay a high tuition fee for my first cooking lesson.
Did you burn the kitchen down?
Luckily, I didn't burn the kitchen.
That's good.
I just scorched the pot completely pitch black.
Well, that's practically the same thing.
I read the recipe very carefully and prepared the ingredients perfectly. There was just one tiny mistake.
What mistake?
I forgot to set the timer.
What was the result?
My dish rapidly transitioned into an archaeological state.
Was there anything salvageable?
No, black as coal.
So did you try eating it?
Yes, I actually ate almost all of it.
You scraped off all the burnt parts and ate it. Why torture yourself like that?
Because I regretted spending money on the ingredients. Why else?
Haha. I thought it was because of an indomitable spirit refusing to surrender to fate.
No, that spirit is purely called being cheap, my friend. But after that day, I learned a hard lesson.
What lesson?
The recipe itself cannot cook the food if you aren't focused while executing it.
Spot on. The cook is the deciding factor.
Have you realized a magical thing about time?
What thing?
The things in the past that used to make us cry and feel ashamed.
Have now become the funniest stories we tell each other.
Exactly. The more we tell them, the funnier they get.
Because when we were in that situation, we only saw a miserable failure. But looking back now, we see a valuable lesson and the commendable effort we put in back then.
Someone once asked me, if you could go back in time, what would you most want to change?
And how did you answer?
At first, I thought I would fix all the silly mistakes I had made, but now I don't think so anymore.
Why is that?
Because if I erased all those foolish moments, I might accidentally erase the very lessons that shaped who I am today.
That's true. There are wrong paths you just have to walk down to know to avoid them.
There are people we had to carelessly miss out on to learn how to appreciate those we have now.
And there are opportunities we had to lose to know how to grasp them later on.
It turns out the past doesn't exist for us to regret.
But for us to understand ourselves on a deeper level,
To understand who we used to be, and to know who we are gradually becoming.
I really like one thing about growing up.
What is it?
We don't have to be perfect to be allowed to be happy. As long as we're a little less foolish each year than the year before, that's already good enough.
Or we just stay as foolish.
Huh? Then what's the point of saying all that?
But we've learned to smile forgivingly at our own foolishness.
I like this definition of yours. Life isn't really a competition to see who makes the fewest mistakes anyway.
But a journey of experience to see who learns the most from their stumbles.
And who can recount those stumbles in the most humorous, light-hearted way.
Speaking of silly and funny mistakes,
What? Why are you suddenly looking at me with that suspicious gaze?
do you remember when you first walked into this coffee shop today?
Of course, why? Is something wrong?
You confidently walked in, pulled out a chair, sat down,
Yeah, and then?
then you sprang back up and awkwardly swapped to the exact chair next to it.
Well, I just thought the chair next to it looked more comfortable.
No way, my friend.
Then why did I?
Because at first, you sat facing the wrong way, with your back completely turned to the table. And the funniest part is that you boldly called out to me, "Have a seat, too."
Oh my God, please do me a favor and forget about that.
Haha, don't worry.
How can I not worry?
10 years from now, this is definitely going to be another incredibly priceless joke for us.
On one condition only.
What condition?
You still have to remember it to tell me by then.
Definitely. And how will you react then?
I'll still be rolling on the floor, laughing, as if it's the first time I've ever heard the story.
It's a deal then.
It's a deal.
Cheers to our coffee.
Cheers. Here's to hoping that our next mistakes in the future will be just as endearing and laughable as the old ones today.